Hi, I'm looking to speak with Mrs. D. Hi, Mrs. D. This is Miss Packer, and I'm calling in regards with Ethan. I'm going to be having a call with his mother pretty soon, in just a few minutes, and I wanted you to join in with this phone call. But I wanted to talk with you first and give you a little bit of an update. For some reason, the last week and a half, Ethan's behavior has really changed, and I'm just a little concerned and wondering what's going on. Also wondering if you've noticed some behavior changes as well. The one thing I've noticed with Ethan lately is a big concern that I have is he's not paying attention to the interpreter. But this used to not be the case. He always seemed to watch the interpreter and stay on task. But lately, he kind of wanders around, looks another way, sometimes blatantly ignores the interpreter. Also, he hasn't been turning in a few assignments that we've had this week, which is unlike Ethan. Normally, he's got most of his homework turned in on time, and we've had 3 or 4 assignments that I haven't even seen yet, and then a couple of them that he's brought maybe a day or 2 late. He also hasn't been focusing on his work. I've noticed when it's time to move on to the next task, he hasn't completed the first task that we've begun. He kind of sits a lot and just, I don't know, he's kind of in his own little world for some reason this last week. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I have noticed that as well, just because, like I said, he's a lot quicker normally with getting his work done, and things are taking him a long time. And I've been kind of watched him the last few days when the kids have been working on their own, on their work, and he kind of just sits there and stares at his paper. And then he starts to write and do a few things, and then he just kind of sits and dozes off. It's not like he's really falling asleep in class, but he's just kind of like sitting there like daydreaming or just, I don't know, too tired to do it or something. And then when it comes to watching the interpreter, it's like he just looks down a lot, kind of looks over, and isn't really paying attention when the interpreter's interpreting what the classroom discussions are. And I think he's missing a lot of the information because of that. And then also, I don't know if he's getting all the directions. I've tried to walk over and talk with him and give him directions and make sure he understood, and the interpreter interprets for him at that time. And he does seem to pay attention to the interpreter when I go over there one-on-one. But when I'm standing up in front of the entire classroom, I don't feel like he's watching the interpreter very much or really paying attention to what's going on. Okay, do you mind? I emailed his mom. Her name is Erin, and I asked her if I could make a phone call to her this afternoon and speak with her. And I really wanted you to be involved in that conversation. I think it will help if both of us are talking to her. So do you mind right now if I call her and put her in on a conference call for all three of us to have a discussion? Okay, just give me 1 sec. I'm just going to go to the other line, add her on, and then I'll let you know when she is on the call with us, okay? Okay, Erin, now that I've got you on the phone with me, I've just connected with the other teacher, and I just want to have a discussion with all three of us. So I'm going to let Mrs. D go ahead and start and explain to you what we've noticed is going on with Ethan, and we'll see if we can work something out. So Mrs. D, Erin is on the phone with us if you want to go ahead and kind of tell her what's going on.
Yeah, well, first of all, just know I'm doing the best I can. I just picked up a second job, so I'm working cleaning houses from 8 until 2 in the afternoon, and then I go straight to Walmart, and I'm working there from 3 to 8. Then I go pick up Ethan from my parents' house, his grandparents, and I guess, it could be affecting him. It's only been the last week or two, but I didn't realize it was affecting him. Well, I can see if his grandparents can help him more with his homework. I mean, they're older, so they don't have the energy that I do, but with my husband and I separating, I really just had to take on this extra job, and I can't be there for him every step of the way. So I don't know if there's any way you guys can give him less of a homework load, because maybe just right now he needs to not have so much pressure from him with everything he's dealing with. What do you think?
Erin, really quick, you just said that he's with his grandparents quite a bit of the time, and they're not quite as good at helping with his homework. If we were able to give him a little bit more time where you could have the weekend to help him with his homework and to get most of that done and then bring it back on Monday, is that something that you would be able to do with him, or is this a weekend job as well?
Well, I have Sundays off, so I can try to catch up with it. I mean, I will talk to my parents and talk to Ethan, and hopefully all together we can try to improve this. But just please remember, I'm doing the best I can. I mean, right now I'm on this tiny little break between jobs, just rushing in this phone call, and I'm feeling really overwhelmed with all that I'm trying to juggle, so. Well, that makes me feel kind of bad, but I do know he probably is feeling some pressure. I will definitely like the ideas you're proposing. He rides the bus home. I don't know that my parents can pick him up, so I don't know about the after-school tutoring, but maybe we can find a time that tutoring could happen. My parents don't speak sign language very much, and I really just don't have the time to learn sign language. I know minimal things, and we try to write papers back and forth so he and I communicate. I feel like we're doing okay, but I mean, we'll try to step it up. I have to be honest, though, I've got to rush off right now. I've got work I've got to get to. I can't be late, so maybe we can try to implement some of these things and talk later.
Also, as far as the homework that he's missing from my class, I will go ahead and put those papers together in a folder and send it home with him. I don't expect it to be done in the next couple of days, but I don't want him to get behind because he's not doing that work. But I'm happy to give you the time that you need. So we want to work with you. We want the best for Ethan. We know it's hard for you as well right now, so we want to give you that time that you need. But like I said, I don't want him to get behind and not learn the material that the class is learning. So I am going to send that home. So will you watch for that in his backpack? And like I said, you know, take a few weeks if you need to get caught up, because there are definitely a few pages in there that he's behind on, and see if you can work with those on him and send him back to school with him if you don't mind.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for calling me. I'm sorry I have to rush off, but I appreciate that you guys care about him, and hopefully we can work this out.
Thank you.